weather is on everyone's schedule in week 2 of the high school football season. We'll show you which teams outlasted the elements and which ones were shut out of the action. Also, with the new head coach, the winning tradition continues at DeSoto. We'll hear from the 2-0 Eagles who join us in studio tonight. Plus, we'll meet one of the best all-around athletes in the country and see why colleges everywhere want him on their team.
This is the Chevy High School Sports Special, sponsored by your North Texas Chevy dealers. Chevy drives Texas.
Hope all you high school football fans and your teams are finally dried out after all this weekend's rain. Good Sunday night, everyone. I'm Mike Leslie. Rain was in the forecast Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I gotta say, Delkus delivered. Wet weather impacted every game in North Texas this week, some more than others. We start with Lake Highlands and Plano East meeting Saturday in the Cotton Bowl, the Stadium Prep Showcase. Plano East jumps out to a big lead in the first half. Lake Highlands just trying to get something going before the break, but Jackson Thompson's pass intercepted near the goal line. Plano East Solomon Hudson making the big play. Pash gets the football to begin the third quarter, but the game is halted by the officials. Teams are taken off the field due to lightning, and the delay lasts about an hour. When the game finally resumed, Plano East's drive continues, and quarterback Brandon Mallory connects with Braylon Henderson. They paired up for a touchdown in the first half. This one a gain of 56 yards to the Lake Highlands 13. 2 plays later, Trey Scott Jones carries it in from the 9-yard line to score his 3rd touchdown of the day. Plano East leads 36-0 when the game is called with 7:12 remaining in the fourth quarter. Panthers get the win officially over the Wildcats. Second game on Saturday in the Cotton Bowl Stadium Prep Showcase, Euless Trinity and Saxe getting underway about an hour later than scheduled. When they did, Saxe scores first on the 2-yard pass from Anthony Beltran to Miles Nash, and Saxe led 7-0. Trinity tied it in the second quarter when the Trojans quarterback Lucky Ellis completes the pass to Colby Parton, who finds some running room for a gain of 33 all the way down to the 2-yard line. Next play, Malcolm Washington follows his lineman into the end zone. And Trinity had a 14-7 lead at halftime. Third quarter, Saxe facing 3rd and 23 from midfield, and Anthony Beltran throws to Derek Rose. The 50-yard touchdown pass tied it at 14. Still tied in the fourth quarter until Trinity retakes the lead on Malcolm Washington's 11-yard run. But the Trojans led 20-14, but they missed the extra point. Final drive for Saxe. They're at the Trinity 33-yard line, but Beltran's pass intercepted by Zion Fanua, and that's the ball game. Euless Trinity wins by 6. The Trojans are 2-0, and they're celebrating their latest victory. In Friday's CBS Prep Showcase, the early game between Waco Midway and Mansfield Lake Ridge being delayed due to lightning near the stadium. Once underway, Lake Ridge quarterback Chandler Rogers scores on the keeper, and the Eagles had an early 7-0 lead. Still in the first quarter, Rogers will scramble out of trouble, then tosses the ball to DeJuan Jackson. Little lefty pitch, and Jackson takes it down the sideline inside the 10-yard line of Midway. That leads to a 29-yard field goal by Tabor Allen. 10-0 at that point, but the game wouldn't last much longer. It ends up being canceled due to the weather after less than a quarter. Too short to be an official game, so it won't count as a win or loss for either team. Duncanville and South Oak Cliff also had the start of their game delayed. After 45 minutes, they would get underway, and Duncanville running back Javon Fountain takes the handoff, goes 26 yards, and check out the hit he takes at the goal line. Oh my goodness, gets leveled, but scores, and it's 7-0 Duncanville. But a short time later, the teams had to leave the field. They wouldn't return. Duncanville was leading, but the game also goes down as canceled. Too much of that this week. A lot of games canceled, but many weren't. The Hebron Hawks are one of the teams that was able to get their game in on Friday night. Hebron getting a big 63-24 win at home against Arlington Martin. The Hawks are now 2-0, and their blue chip receiver is a big part of why. Here's Jonah Javad with the Texas Scottish Rite Hospital for Children Spotlight.
So last Thursday night, I was on the sidelines for Plano and Hebron, my first time covering high school football in Texas, which was awesome. Unfortunately, I don't know everyone's name yet. I'm working on it, but I do know this one kid from Hebron.
You know, I'm a dog on the field.
Put on an absolute show.
The ball's up in the air. It's just like you just expect him to come down with it.
Let's go! He took snaps and ran the ball. He caught screen passes. I mean, he just looked unstoppable.
I mean, I don't know if we've ever had a better wide receiver than him.
It was a close game in the second half, and this dude ran for a touchdown, hurdling a defender into the end zone. Later, he caught a touchdown, juking and spinning his way somehow for 6. Hebron won a thriller, 28-27. Of course, after the game, I find out that he's one of the best receivers in the country, a 5-star recruit. And despite offers from the likes of Alabama and Ohio State, he's verbally committed to play at Oklahoma.
Gonna go deep.
Can you blame him? Over the last 10 years, 9 OU receivers have been selected in the NFL draft.
You know, whenever I first got offered by Oklahoma, they brought me in and they said I could be like a Sterling Shepard or a Kenny Stills.
Stills grabs a touchdown.
Looking at them, I mean, that's where I want to be.
At 6'2", 170 pounds, this Hebron senior has a promising career ahead of him.
He can just do a lot of things, and he's naturally gifted, and, you know, he can dunk a basketball and score 30 in a game.
Oh, and his name? Trajan Bridges. Don't you forget it. Jonah Javad, Channel 8 Sports.
There are a lot of great players to watch in North Texas, and Bridges is most certainly high on the list. More highlights from Week 2 football action still to come, and the DeSoto Eagles are here in studio. We will talk with them next. Their head coach Mike Robinson as well, when the Chevy High School Sports Special continues. Welcome back to the Chevy High School Sports Special. Let's continue our coverage of Week 2 football highlights with the game known as the Oak Cliff Super Bowl. Carter versus Kimball Saturday at Kincaid Stadium in Dallas. Here come the Knights, and here come the Cowboys in the first quarter. But Carter quarterback Case Williams is pressured and sacked by Kimball's Jamel Ibrahim, who puts an end to the Cowboys' first drive of the game. Carter would find the end zone on its next possession, though, and it's Williams going to the air with a pass to Cedric Hayes. The 34-yard touchdown connection and 2-point conversion, giving Carter an 8-0 lead. In the second quarter, Kimball looking to answer. Jamel McWilliams dumping off to Cameron Nelson, who picks up 14 yards before being knocked out of bounds at the Cowboys' 3-yard line. McWilliams will take it from there. Kimball's quarterback calling his own number and scoring the first touchdown. This was a 1-point game at the half. And close throughout, with Kimball getting a 21-15 win over Carter in the Oak Cliff Super Bowl. New DeSoto head coach Mike Robinson making his home debut Friday as the Eagles hosted Dallas Jesuit. DeSoto strikes first when quarterback Shindarian Ward throws deep, and Byron Hanspard is on the receiving end of this 32-yard touchdown reception. Seems like he's been there forever. Eagles taking a 6-0 lead over the Rangers. Jesuit comes right back with a huge play. Quarterback Kevin Schumann throwing to a wide-open Nick Haffertepe, and he'll go the distance for an 86-yard score. Jesuit taking a 7-6 lead after the extra point. Still in the first quarter, DeSoto goes back in front on the 6-yard run by Roston White. That made it 13-7. Eagles on front as he dives to pay dirt. A Jesuit field goal makes it 13-10 before DeSoto strikes again. Jesuit going for the interception of Ward's pass, but not quite able to get there, and Jace Medlock makes the catch instead and turns it into a 51-yard score for the Eagles. He would get flagged after the play for his touchdown celebration as he goes to sleep, but the score made it 20-10. Officials didn't find it funny. I kind of did. Game would then be delayed by lightning with 2:03 left in the second quarter, and they would never resume play. The coaches agree to end it, with DeSoto getting the official win, 20-10 over Jesuit. So that means 2 wins in a row to begin the season for DeSoto, and they are here in studio with us tonight. Mike Robinson, the head coach of the Eagles, his era is underway, and he and some of his players are in studio with us this evening. Guys, thanks a lot for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Coach, we'll start with you. A 2-0 start, and It's been an interesting year, an interesting couple of years in DeSoto, but despite all of that, a very strong 2-0 start for your team. Why have things clicked early on for you guys?
Things have worked well for us because of the transition. You know, one of the things we wanted to do was to make it easy for the kids that the coaches had to make more of a transition than the kids did. So by making it easier on them, we were able to build the rapport and chemistry that we needed to build in order to be successful.
And it's been successful, at least so far. Obviously, you guys hoping to keep things going. Well, you've got a whole bunch of seniors here in studio with us tonight. We'll start with one of your wide receivers, just another hand-sparred to come through the DeSoto program. Brian, you guys as a group of wide receivers have had a lot of success, kind of shared all around the unit so far early on this season. What about that unit has worked for you guys so far?
Yes, sir. Well, under the leadership of Coach Brandon Harrison and Justin Crow, we have created a dominant receiving corps. Our 5 starting receivers, we can all get the ball at any time and make things happen. Jace Maylock, Lawrence Arnold, Vontae Chenault, Kenneth Salter, and myself, we are all talented receivers that can get open at any time and make things happen. We have a quarterback, Shondarian Ward, that can get us the ball accurately and we can go score. And we all hold at least 1 touchdown right now.
Obviously a pretty good start for you guys. None of that happens, though, without the offensive line protecting to get things started. And the whole group, the whole offensive line is here with us in studio tonight. One of the starters, left tackle Reggie Neal, one of the seniors on this football team. Reggie, what's that mean to you to have this whole offensive line here getting a little bit of shine, getting a little bit of respect tonight?
Yes, sir. Us being here today, just it's wonderful. From me, from Evan to Jeremiah to Chris. We may not get the recognition that we deserve, but at the end of the day, we're still the offensive line of the team, and we make big plays. So.
You've made a whole bunch of them so far to be able to get off to this 2-0 start. Another offensive lineman, the other bookend of this offensive line, right tackle Jeremiah Jones. Jeremiah, you guys have a new staff in place, as I mentioned to Coach Robinson off the top. It's been an interesting couple of years down there in DeSoto with the coaching staff. What has it been like for you guys over the course of this last year, and what has this season been like for the team?
Well, this season, it's been a blessing to have a new coaching staff come through and teach us and help us learn new techniques to the game. Like David Jokel, Coach Harrison, they teach O-linemen to, work together, technique, posture, everything. Like, we have a great year this year.
Now, we do have some representation from the defensive side of the ball in studio with us tonight as well. Middle linebacker Deontay McGee. Deontay, tell us a little bit about your defense and why you guys deserve a little bit of credit for this 2-0 start as well.
Our defense deserve credit because we're disciplined and we execute all our assignments. With the defense, we trust each other, and that's why we get 3 and outs to get the offense back on the field so they can score the ball.
And finally, we've got one of the running backs in studio with us tonight as well, Tyson Alexander. And Tyson, we talked before about the offensive line and how important it is to this team and the fact that they're getting a little bit of credit tonight, but I know you want to talk specifically about what it means for you and the positional players to have this group out in front paving the way.
Yes. We have a starting O-line of Reggie Neal. We have Christian Ford, Jacoby Jenkins, Evan Henry, and Jeremiah Jones, who hold the line for us, do the dirty work, and get us some yards with Terrence Shaw, Ralston White, and myself as a 3-back rotation. And we have so much talent that if one person get injured, we can have anybody else step in and execute. And I'm proud to have this O-line running behind because it's a wonderful O-line. They push, and give us the yards, and we execute every play.
Coach, we'll come back to you to kind of wrap things up. You're off to this 2-0 start. Why has it worked? And more importantly, where do you go from here? How do you keep it working?
Well, we're having fun. If the kids are not having fun in what they do, then it becomes a chore. So each day, we'll go out and we'll work hard. But at the end of the day, we want them to be able to walk out saying they had fun learning football. And, we look to get better each week. And as we get better, then we get one step closer to our goal. And our goal is to bring another state championship back to DeSoto High School and the community of DeSoto.
Now, you're 2 steps toward that goal already, and obviously hoping that you can get a few more steps toward that ultimate goal. Coach Mike Robinson and the DeSoto Eagles, guys, thanks a lot for being here with us in studio tonight.
Thank you.
All right, more highlights still to come here on the Chevy High School Sports Special, so keep it right here. Waxahachie visiting Mesquite Poteet at Memorial Stadium Thursday. Poteet scores in the first minute of the game after a Waxahachie turnover. Seth McGowan going 12 yards for the touchdown and an early 7-0 lead for Poteet. Final minute of the first quarter now. It's a busted play for Poteet as the snap goes over the head of Dalton Dale. He picks it up though, gets to the outside and works his way into the end zone for a 14-0 Pirates lead after one. More Poteet in the second quarter. McGowan getting his second touchdown of the night on this 12-yard run. Nice cut and then fighting through would-be tacklers for the end zone. He scored 4 times in the game, and Dalton Dale adds another through the air. Up top for Lewis Moore, a 63-yard score to make it 28-0 before halftime. Mesquite Poteet with an impressive win over Waxahachie, 48-7 the final. Mansfield Legacy lost their star quarterback and defensive back Jalen Catalon to injury last week. This week, they look to bounce back against Crowley. Second play of the game, Legacy's new starting quarterback Cam Clark throws to Ife Adeyi, who turns this one into a big play for the Broncos, a 72-yard touchdown to make it 6-0 Legacy. Later in the first quarter, Clark will go to the air again. This time he goes deep to Adeyi, who makes the diving catch. By rule, he's down at the 1-yard line, but that kind of effort, give him the touchdown. From there, though, Caleb King would run it in for the score. First of 3 rushing touchdowns for King on the night. And Ife Adeyi not only is Legacy's leading receiver, but also punts and kicks for the Broncos. And he adds a couple of field goals in the first half. Mansfield Legacy cruises to a 39-7 win over Crowley. The Colony and Frisco Reedy playing Thursday night at the Star. We pick it up in the second quarter. Reedy up 10-7 and Will Harbor expands the lead with a touchdown run. They would lead 17-14 at the half. Same score in the third. The Colony driving and Mikey Harrington up top for Keith Miller. Touchdown reception and the Colony surges ahead, but Reedy would retake the lead. Here's Michael Ferrara plunging in from 4 yards out. That makes it 24-21. We're tied at 24 in the fourth, and it's Harbor again, this time from 3 yards out. That score puts Reedy up for good as he plunges his way in. They win it 33-24. Lake Dallas visiting the Star for a showdown with Frisco Centennial on Friday. We're even at 7 in the first. Ryan Depperschmidt airs it out for Kylie Smith. Open in the corner of the end zone, and Lake Dallas takes the lead. It's a 16-point lead now, but just before the half, Weston Symes scrambling all over the place. Somehow avoids the pressure, looking like Fran Tarkenton out there, and then wiggles his way to the goal line and in. It would be a 23-20 Lake Dallas lead at the break. Same score until the third quarter when Depperschmidt hits C.J. Broadway to make it a 10-point game. And then in the fourth, Kylie Smith will add another for Lake Dallas. They go on to win this one 40-34. Nice cut to get into the end zone. The Prosper Eagles visit Keller Timber Creek Friday. Both teams coming in with 1-0 records. Another delayed start in this one, but Prosper gets rolling quickly in the first quarter. Wayne Anderson taking the handoff and straight up the gut. 47 yards for the score, and Prosper leads 7-0. Timber Creek will answer with a big play of their own. Another big run as Blake Irving scores on a 34-yard run, and we're even at 7 apiece. But Prosper comes right back to retake the lead before the end of the first quarter, and it's Wayne Anderson again with the rushing touchdown from 7 yards away. Eagles up 14-7 after this one. Anderson ends up scoring 3 touchdowns on the ground, and quarterback Keegan Shoemaker throws for 3 touchdowns, all in the second quarter, 2 of which to Justine Clark, including this 70-yarder, as Clark does a lot of the work here. And Prosper pulls away from Timber Creek to win it 56-14. Team of the Week is next. Stay with us.
Now, here's your Chevy Team of the Week, sponsored by your North Texas Chevy dealers.
The games may not count toward the district standings just yet, but this one counts toward Oak Cliff bragging rights. The Oak Cliff Super Bowl between Kimball and Carter being played Saturday in Dallas. Carter taking the early lead on a touchdown pass from Case Williams to Cedric Hayes. Cowboys would add a 2-point conversion to make it 8-0. But Kimball responds with their quarterback Jamel McWilliams stretching for the goal line and scoring to make it a 1-point game by halftime. The Knights would then outscore Carter 14-7 in the second half, giving Kimball a 21-15 win over the Cowboys. Kimball claiming this year's Oak Cliff Super Bowl, and they are our Chevy Team of the Week. Non-district football action continues this week for the DeSoto Eagles. That means a Saturday game in Week 3 against private school Power Bishop Dunn. Then district play begins for the Eagles in Week 4. Good luck to them, and thanks to head coach Mike Robinson and his players who joined us here in studio tonight. And we also want to thank every one of you for watching the Chevy High School Sports Special. Hope you'll join us again here next Sunday night. Until then, have a great week.
This has been the Chevy High School Sports Special, sponsored by your North Texas Chevy dealers. Chevy drives Texas.